Hey, what's going on, guys? It's FPL Yusuf here, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be going over blank game week 29. We're finally here. We're going to go over how my team got on in game week 28, what my current transfer plans are looking like for 29. We're going to answer some key questions surrounding the game week, and we'll also take a brief look at what my current lineup is looking like before my transfers have been made. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, but without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today on my YouTube channel for another video. Before we get into this one, if you guys wouldn't mind dropping a thumbs up and subscribing down below, it would be greatly appreciated. Okay, let's take a quick little recap at how we got on in game week 28 now. At the time of recording, it's currently Monday evening, so we still have one more game to go, which is Newcastle and West Ham, which means we still have Alexander Isak to play, hopefully if he's starting. It hasn't been the greatest of game weeks for us. We are currently just above the average, but we are on a small red arrow, unfortunately. So at the time of recording this video, we are on 49 points. We will be up to 50 because we've got Dango coming in for Gakpo. It started off actually quite well, Mo Salah getting himself a brace as captain, which, kind of left hopefully everyone else to actually get points, but it just has not turned out like that at all. Everybody has blanked in the team, bar Timber and Cliver, who both got assists. But other than that, Cole Palmer, obviously missing his first penalty. It really does just sum up how he's been playing over the last few weeks, maybe even a little bit more than that, maybe the last few months. And I think it's just time to maybe look at getting rid of him, which we'll talk about in the next section. And Burmo blank, Chris Wood blank. The defense just no clean sheets at all. It hasn't really been going well at the moment. But I'm hopeful and I'm positive because we have got a full 11 for game week 29. We've got 2 free transfers in the bank, which is great. And like I said, we still do have Alexander Isak to play tonight as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he can push us closer to a little bit more of a green arrow. And then hopefully next week we can sort of bounce back from this game week. But that's how we've gotten so far in game week 28. We're going to jump straight into what my current transfers are. Okay, so first up is the big question. What do we do with Erling Haaland? Do we bring him in now? I do like him. I like him as a pick. I like him. I like the fixtures that they've got. They're playing Brighton in game week 29, followed by a fantastic game against Leicester at home in game week 30. I think that is the big one that a lot of people are going to be targeting. Obviously, to get the money to Haaland, it's probably going to need to be free up by selling either Palmer or Salah. Now, for a lot of people, Mo Salah it just wouldn't be a smart move to get rid of him. The form he's in, he's broken his own record. He's just continuing to turn over points after points after points. So for me personally, he's just out of the question. Cole Palmer, on the other hand, is a different story. Now, he is somebody that I definitely am open to selling. The question is, I think the real thing is, obviously everyone's going to be looking at Haaland as he's on penalties. He's probably guaranteed 90 minutes most games. Is Marmoush an option as well? So I'm going to put both of them here together. I think after seeing Marmoush being benched and then sort of come on, I think that's kind of secured himself a spot. Funnily enough, obviously he didn't start the game. Man City ended up losing. Doku and Savinho weren't really that great themselves. I think it just I think this is a good thing. Marmoush has been playing about 70, 75 minutes, then getting pulled off. He does obviously have that high upside. We saw the hat trick a couple of weeks ago. But I think if you are going to buy a City attacker, I think Erling Haaland is the one. He's guaranteed for minutes. He is on penalties. And I do like him. I think if you can free up the money, I think, Man City's fixtures from now to the end of the season, he probably is just a hold. Obviously, the only thing they've got left is kind of just, obviously they're still in the FA Cup, but they really want to focus on securing that Champions League spot for next year. And I think Haaland will start to come good eventually. I think Brighton's not a bad fixture on paper for them, but then obviously the big one is the Leicester in game week 30 before a lot of people might actually end up wildcarding him out. So he may become quite a big differential. So yeah, on Erling Haaland, I do like him over Marmoush. I think Marmoush is definitely a viable option if you can't get the money for him. But I think if you can free up the money or you're looking to sell Palmer or Salah, then yeah, definitely Haaland is the one. Okay, so next up is, should we be selling Dango? Now, for me, before this game week started and I saw Bournemouth's lineup and I saw Evan Nilsson was playing up Friday, it was a clear and utter, yes, he needs to go. He's just going to waste time. He's going to come off these 15, 20-minute cameo appearances. He's not going to start now, especially after Evan Nilsson scored. However, Semenyo has picked up an injury in their last game. So I think the best thing to do, I could advise, is just waiting and seeing. Because if Semenyo is ruled out, then I'm pretty sure Dango is probably going to be the one to come in for him. If Semenyo is fit, then yeah, I definitely think that there's a real reason at least to get rid of him. Me personally, I'm actually looking to take in a -4 to get rid of him. I'm not sure if it's worth that. I'm still playing about with what my transfer plans are at the moment, but it's definitely something that I'm considering. Now, fortunately for me, I actually have 11 players for game week 29 at the time of recording before I made my 2 transfers. So it really isn't yet the be all and end all for me. But I think if you are somebody who's not looking to take a minus now, you've just got Dango, maybe you've got a lot of free transfers in the bank. If you're using a free transfer him, I like it. If you're not, then I think maybe just wait and see what the Semenyo news is and then make your decision based upon that. Okay, and the final question is, should we be going big on Nottingham Forest? Now, they obviously do have the best fixture on paper in this game week, along with Manchester United, but, Man United are so inconsistent. I think Forest are the ones you can rely on. Should we basically be tripling up? Now, I think most people probably have Chris Wood and one of another one, either it be a Langa or a Milenkovic or an Aina. So you probably got either Chris Wood definitely, and then one of either a midfielder or a defender. If you are looking to triple up, and maybe you've got a lot of free transfers, or maybe you're just looking to free hit, and you're thinking who's the right one to go for, which is the best option? Is it a cheaper midfielder? Is it another defender? For me personally, I think for defence, you'll be looking at sort of Milenkovic, Muriello, and Nico Williams. They're all very good prices for what they're worth. They're a little bit cheaper than Ole Einar. And I think that there's obviously a high chance that Nottingham Forest will keep a clean sheet. However, the one I personally am looking at is Morgan Gibbs White. Now, before this, I was actually so bent on bringing in Anthony Elanga. I thought he was the one. Callum Hudson-Odoi sort of chipped up here and there, but I think Gibbs White is kind of somebody who's going to guarantee you minutes, but he's also looking a threat. He's on set pieces. If Chris Wood isn't on the pitch, he's probably going to be the one taking the penalties. So I think for me, my mind has changed on that, as opposed to looking at maybe the wide men, but actually, you know what, Morgan Gibbs White might be the shout there. Okay, so as you guys can see, I've got a bit of change of outfit going on. I was editing the video, and part of the actual previous recording I did, the file did corrupt and you couldn't hear my voice in it. So I'm going to re-record this right now. But it is actually a good thing, because I have, since recording yesterday, have made an actual transfer. So I'm going to jump into what my plans are. And the first one is the confirmed one. I have sold Cole Palmer and I brought in Morgan Gibbs White. I think that move was always going to be needed to be made if I was going to go for Erling Haaland, which I'm pretty sure I am. So one transfer already confirmed. Like I said, Palmer has gone and Morgan Gibbs White has come in. The second one that I'm looking at, I still have one more free transfer, is obviously moving Cody Gakpo to Erling Haaland. Now, for me, I'm going to probably try and wait all the way till the start of the deadline if I can, providing there's no price rises or price drops, because Man City kick off the game week, so we're probably going to get team news around that on the game week deadline. So I'm going to just try and leave that as long as I can before I actually confirm that transfer. Now, there is a possibility that I do take a -4 this week, and it is either one of Greaves or maybe Alexander Isak who leave my team. Now, I know that sounds crazy, especially in the case of Alexander Isak. The one that I'm looking at is bringing in Marmoush. Now, it is a gamble going on both of the Manchester City assets, because obviously Marmoush didn't start last game. I do think, obviously, after the fact that City lost to Forest, that has done his chances in better stead. I maybe looked at him as being a more nailed asset. And I just want to try and go for a little bit of a differential sort of pairing in this last part of the season. Obviously, Man City got Brighton on 29, and then the big one is game week 30, where they do play Leicester. So we're going to wait and see on that one. But as I said, so far, one confirmed transfer, Palmer to Morgan Gibbs White. The second one definitely is probably going to happen, which is moving Gakpo to Haaland, with a potential of a third, maybe moving Greaves to Gavardio, or moving Alexander Isak to Marmoush. So we're going to have to wait and see on that one. But that is my confirmed transfers. Let's just jump straight into what my team's looking like for next week. Okay, so this is an early sort of rough draft of what my team's looking like. Obviously, I have got the one confirmed transfer in here. We are going to start off with the defence. Greaves probably will not be playing in this team, so we can sort of ignore him for now. Pickford in goal. This might be the last week I own him, maybe the second last week, but he's going to go soon because Everton's fixtures do change. But hopefully, fingers crossed, he can get a couple more save points. So one thing I've noticed about him recently is that he's not really making a lot of save points since David Moyes has come in. So it's almost like if he keeps a clean sheet, he'll get the 6 points. But if he does concede, it's probably usually going to be a 2 or a 1. So I am keeping my eye close on that one. Milenkovic will be at the back against Ipswich. Obviously, probably one of the better fixtures on paper. Timber's got Chelsea again. He's fine just for this game week. Obviously, maybe a longer term view, we'll be looking to move him on as well. Aitnour's probably got the best fixture this game week on paper, and that's Southampton. Now, he's someone that I desperately need a return from this week, because I wasn't keen on bringing him in a couple of weeks ago. I did it because obviously their fixtures were good. I thought that there might be a little bit more of attacking threat from him. He hasn't really produced that yet. I did own him prior to Christmas, and I said to myself when I sold him that I would not bring him back. There's a few players that Edison, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and he's another one that I just said once they've burnt me once, I'm just not going back there. I didn't listen to myself. I've gone back there. I've got him in. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this Southampton game can be a clean sheet for them, as well as maybe an attacking return. Hopefully, he can come back with a nice haul. Obviously, Dean Hoyson's going to be in there as well for playing for Bournemouth, just trying to get a 4-11 out. Then we move on to the midfield. Brian Mbeumo up first. He's got an okay fixture. He's someone for me who I think maybe in the medium to long term I'll be looking to get rid of, but for right now I think I've got more pressing issues. So he's fine where he is. Obviously, I was on penalties for Brentford. Is one of their main men, so I'm happy to own him there. Morgan Gibbs White, like I said, my new transfer in this week, he's definitely going to be playing. Obviously, Ipswich at home is a great fixture for them. Then we have the double up of Bournemouth in Cliver and Dango. Now, Cliver's absolutely fine. Dango's the one that I'm a little bit more worried about. Now, obviously, like I said, it all depends on what happens with Semenyo's injury. If Semenyo's out, maybe there's more of a chance of Dango getting minutes. But if they've got their full fit squad, unfortunately, I think Dango has lost his place to Evan Nilsson now. So that may actually end up being a minus to get rid of him, depending on what happens with the rest of the squad. But for the time being, I've got Greaves on the bench, so if I do need an actual guaranteed starting player, it is him. Obviously, in an ideal world, I probably wouldn't want to start him, and I'd rather start Dango, but I'm going to have to just wait and see on that one, which is why that second free transfer, I'm probably going to leave towards the back end of the week, just to try and get as much information as we can about injuries, about players, about team lineups, and then we'll try to look to make that change further down the line. And obviously, up front, Chris Wood definitely going to be in there. Haaland will, I'm 99.9% sure he will be in instead of Cody Gakpo. There is a chance that I go for a 3 up top with Marmoush if I get rid of Isak. But again, that's dependent on the minus form, will probably be decided later on in the week. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. I'll be back tomorrow with an FPL challenge video. We'll go over what my current team is in that, what the challenge is for this game week, and the team that I've selected. I might try and get a bonus video in this week about a free hit draft, because I know a lot of people are going to be using their free hit this week. So just for those of you who are actually active and maybe looking for kind of like a little bit of a template, or maybe, you know, some different reasons as to why to go for different players, I may well drop that on Thursday if I get time to record it. And obviously we'll be back on Friday with the final team selection ahead of game week 29. So thank you guys once again so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.